Buddy, and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Holiday Season 25 Minis. Today we're taking a look at Coplice taking on Hollywood. Let's just get this one right on the road.
Radiant team ban. Dire team ban.
Quick bans coming out, probably none the least because I just set this replay to 2 times speed to get through the draft. Quick, again, we have a lot of games tonight, so we're just gonna do some very quick analysis. As you can see, Coplice himself over there, Hollywood's team has an Immortal, has the Immortal of Immortals, has the highest MMR player in the pool. Pharmacist, 2 Divine Cores. Wait, interesting. 2 Divine Cores means that Roar is playing Core on this lineup. So that's interesting there. I knew Pharma and Jekka were both going to be doing that. I didn't really know how Roar was going to be shaken out there.
10 seconds remaining.
Instantly picking up the Juggernaut,
5
which
seconds
is
remaining.
honestly not shocking.
Dire
I'm really
team
starting to
ban.
believe more and more that's probably basically always just going to be the right thing to do. Like the Timbersaw band there.
10 seconds remaining.
Clockwork coming out here. Good
5
response.
seconds
We saw it do
remaining.
some nasty work in the last game.
Dire
So.
team ban.
Pharmacist's profile picture is edited to look like that old picture of Tiger
10
Woods, or
seconds
who I think
remaining.
it was Tiger Woods, whoever it
5
was.
seconds remaining.
That was a meme in 2003 or something.
Radiant team ban.
He also appears to have a little black teardrop tattoo, which means he's killed somebody in jail.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team.
Yeah, that
kick.
puck getting banned, I have this weird feeling that poor DJ is never going to be allowed to play puck
10
ever again
seconds
after that
remaining.
last game.
5
He just
seconds
rolled
remaining.
just rolled over everybody there. Was a massacre. Yeah, they're just banning out. Started out banning Comfort, but haven't moved on to just banning things that were in the last series. That's left the VS open for the Coplice lineup.
10 seconds remaining.
2 things that
5
pierce
seconds
the
remaining.
Juggernaut's spin. Pretty annoying for him. And VS, if she eats the Omni Slash, it does kind of waste it. She doesn't really care that much after eggs.
Dire team pick.
Sky Wrath Maid.
Oh no, not a lover's quarrel. You hate to see it getting picked up instantly
10
too.
seconds remaining.
I like the
5
Skywrath
seconds
conceptually
remaining.
here. Just as something to immediately punish the Clockwork, something to potentially ruin some plays by these 2 supports. Doesn't have that much meaning yet. It's so far mostly reactive.
Radiant team.
Okay, they're just picking up the whole support line here. Shaman, never a bad pick, I don't think.
10 seconds.
Always has
remaining.
something to offer.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant team.
Jack coming out, basically in the same boat, but interestingly is... Okay, oops, all supports, I guess. Coplice is decided to pursue the strategy of having a really confusing team to actually blaze what everyone's doing.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds
No
remaining.
matter how this breaks down, at least there's going to be at least one wacky core on the Coplice lineup.
Radiant team ban.
Ursa ban. Probably for the
10
best.
seconds
Don't want to be
remaining.
playing the Furion into that.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant team.
It's going to be
ban.
pause 2, pause 3 on the Furion, which I don't care what lane that is. It's probably going to be at least a little rough for him. I don't really like any of
10
what that looks
seconds
like right
remaining.
now in Coplice's lineup.
5 seconds remaining.
So that may slow down their early game a little bit here. Coplice predicting pause 3 coming out, which is probably the right play. I would definitely guess Fury
10
on mid before
seconds remaining.
P3 for
Dire team,
sure.
Radiant team.
Bringing up the Tidehunter. I
10
mean, I guess it's
seconds
not that
remaining.
bad of a Tidehunter game, but but
5 seconds remaining.
it is a little scary. Don't call him that, please. It's a little scary picking that here. I feel like this Tidehunter pick can go really wrong really fast here.
What's it with?
Pangolier.
select
This
your
is
heroes.
what the hell's going on? Pause 1 Windrunner. That's good news for the Tidehunter, I think. Yeah, come on, this is a PG stream. Pause 1 Windrunner is good news for the Tidehunter, I think. The Pangolier is, like, kind of horrible news for him. It's like one of the worst things you can be facing as this guy, I think. It's going to also put a big dent into the Furion game. I think is a good pick here. The only downside is it is pretty rotten into the jug. So the Pangolier is going to be on everybody else duty. They're going to have to deal with Jug one way or the other. Somehow, some way. I imagine, especially considering the VS's core here, VS is probably going to be the main one to this task, but it's a little spooky. Especially with the
Prepare
very
for
high
battle.
MMR core trio that Hollywood is bringing to the table. This isn't a complete route draft-wise like the last game was. I think Coplice team has a slim advantage here. I don't think it's like overbearing by any means, but it's going to be very execution heavy, and it's going to come down really to how they're going to be able to deal with this Juggernaut. Because they've got things that mess with Juggernaut. It's gonna be hard to see if they have things that are gonna like really deal with them. 5v5 level 1 here. Jakiro is going to be the sacrificial lamb and is just going to go down very quickly. Clockwork, I like his positioning of the gears in the middle of that, but
30 seconds to go.
kind of bait the team a little bit there. Though, Dyer, yeah, looks like Dyer kind of overcommitted to... No, Dyer did not overcommit to anything. Jug is able to get out of that scot-free. 3-1 right now. 4-1 right now. Hollywood says a question mark in all chat. So that was a pretty rotten series of events for the Coplice lineup. They lost the First Blood, and they went 1-3 for the... Oh, well, maybe 2-2 for the runes. This hire has just realized that nobody has gone for these. Young Master's coming, doesn't make it. So it is indeed 3-1 on runes. At the very least, Clockwork is going to waste a lot of Skyras mana. Oh, he even wastes a little bit of his own mana there. He's going to be walking into the lane about half full probably by the time he gets there. At least he has a Smango. I like Clockwork just hounding him here. That actually just goes ahead and eats something, actually, which I'm not that happy with. I like Clockwork aiming the cog at where he was. They're going to high five. And with that, I think it's time for another roll call. So just quickly, because we already looked at these guys last game, but you might not be watching these in order. Pause 1 for the Coplice lineup is Elma Bache. You may know him better as Hulk Hulkamania running wild last game. Pause 2, DJ Bread and Butter on the Pangolier. Pause 3, Clone on the Vengeful Spirit. The guy maybe know the least about of anybody in the entire draft. Pause 4, Young Master. Actually, no, it's this guy on the Clockwork. Swing and a miss on that VSW. Not like it means much, but it's kind of unfortunate. Pause 4, Young Master on the Clockwork. Pause 5, Captain of the Team, Coplice. On the other side of the coin for the Dyer. Pause 1, you have Jekka, PB, and P, which is apparently peanut butter and Percocets, allegedly. On the Juggernaut. Pause 2, you've got Farmacist on the Nature's Prophet. Pause 3, you've got Roar on the Tidehunter. Pause 4, you've got 2,000 Ks later, which is not Hollywood. It is Purple Moon Jelly. It is Minato.
Dire's courier has been
It's
killed.
Hollywood's doofy brother on the Shadow Shaman, not the Shadow Demon, on the Shadow Shaman, and pause 5, you got Hollywood, captain of the team, on the Skyrath Mage. Well, the opening assault heavily favored the Hollywood lineup. Thus far, blast hits have been pretty universally favoring Coplice. Especially notable is poor Tidehunter here is sitting on 2 last hits. They just killed the Clockwork over at top, but I wanted to see Tidehunter die. Tidehunter has 2 last hits and 0 denies, and is now gotten to death. At the very least, Farmacist quickly jumps in from mid to get him there, or to get the Jakiro there for killing the big stupid watermelon. That's at the hero Tidehunter, not Roar, mind you. Tidehunter is a big stupid watermelon. I will hear no arguments towards this. That's talking about the hero, not the players. Again, disclaimer. Anyway, but
This bow shoots so quick.
they take out the Tidehunter with the Jakiro. At the very least, you have a pair drop in for the Furion to get rid of that, but thus far, pretty poor start for Tidehunter's lane. Even after having an entire wave there that was pretty good, he's still down 10 last hits. And his support is down all of his health bar. Is just going to barely make it out alive thanks to the chicken form. But is still going to have to go all the way back to base and
Dire's courier
come
has
back
been
again.
killed.
Oh, Clockwork found a loaded courier there. Took out like 5 items, including an entire Wraith Band and a set of tangos. Very unfortunate for the Juggernaut, but he's not going to be that sad as he's going to get a very free kill on the VS here. I don't even know if the Furion necessarily needed to be a part of that, but he can't be too mad. He still got the kill anyway. Tidehunter has, fortunately for him, pulled this into only an 8 last hit disadvantage. Still not where you want to be, I don't think, especially in a game that looks like this. Again, you know, the Windrunner, hey, that's pretty good. You know, it's you really don't care about anything this Windrunner does except the kill shot and Mjolnir. Bad news is you are in pain when any of these other cards are doing. It is a rotten life, and you've got a very good ability to dodge ult there, though. That was a good series of events for them there. The Tidehunter finally gets at least a clean assist without going down, as Furion ult takes a kill out on Jakiro there. So nothing else, he's 0-1-5. You can be in a lot worse situations than that. And the Windrunner is going to have to put the backseat, at least nominally put the backseat for a while on getting kills. Aurora is just so low, and there's just no supply in this lane either. As, yeah, no regen on himself or his friend. Is just going to have to sit in the pool and wait for the Lotus to even be able to think about coming back to lane, which is just going to give the Windrunner a lot of power play time. Hollywood says solo kill before the kill actually happens. Goes for the Wisdom here at top.
Radiant's middle tower is under
What's
attack.
interesting is, you know, Wisdom isn't up for another minute. DJ Bread and Butter TPing in quickly behind, looking for the Juggernaut here. And he's just going to run him over. He's faster than the Jug, just gets the job done. Yeah, the Jug has no boots. I think that might have been a casualty of that very large kill on the Courier that happened earlier.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That's a very good turnaround kill there. The Juggernaut was doing pretty well in this lane, had a last hit advantage, and has 3 kills and 4 assists, so putting the brakes on that particular train, definitely good. And then the game just slows
Dire
back
are
down.
scanning.
At the very least, Tidehunter, it's going to be hard for him to do it. Tidehunter might be able to take these stacks, and they're not going to give him to Furion. Always the curse of the pause 3 stack situation.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Furion going to TP bot here, looking for the Jakiro. They're going to get him. The Windrunner is a pretty unlikely kill. She has a Quelling Blade, so she's going to be able to get out of town. The Pangolier comes in. Tide Rax, Tidehunter. Going for Furion. Furion is kind of ignoring the rest of the action to try and get this kill on this very low Windrunner, who's going to take the hint and just get out of town. Is now sitting between a lot of fire here. The gears, the supports. So the Clockwork just gets kind of sidelined. Oh! The DJ there, he actually just, that was very unfortunate, missed his Q there, which I think would have been a kill on the Furion had he landed that. Fairly unfortunate, good turn of events for the Hollywood team there. Takes 3 for 1, changes hand, about 1,000 gold, changes hands, about 1,000 XP, changes hands. You can see there's a major damage deficit right now favoring them. These guys, the 3 and under club on the Radiant is going to take a while to do any real damage. These early team fights are probably going to be pretty painful for them. These very early ones anyway. I mean, that's going to change sooner than later. It's not going to be like a super long-term issue, but for a while it's going to be kind of bad. Jug's stuck in this really awkward position. He does not actually have enough mana to Omni Slash due to getting hit by the cogs. He hits his one to take just enough to turn around and try and do it, but while he turns around, he is going to go down, and that's a pretty good-sized kill for the Radiant at this juncture. Yeah, higher net worth than anybody on their team, so pretty good to just get that guy down for really pretty much free, and now they're going for round 2 on the Farmacist here. Doing a lot of damage to him. He's called in the entire army. Everybody TPs to men to try and save this guy, but once everybody leaves, the TPs are cancelled. So notably, the Hollywood team is still kind of putting pressure on this general area of the map. Just, I don't know, maybe they wanted to fool them into a false sense of security or something. Or they just really wanted these very specific camps, but still. You do have, this is a good ward here by 200 decays later. You have a very awkward little situation here. I don't know necessarily that the Skywrath slow was what they wanted to start with here, but it's not going to be a problem. The Windrunner is going to get hammered and sliced to bits.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And that looks kind of bad. Furion's leading on second place by over 1,000 gold, and second place is a guy on his team, which is kind of awkward. In a very strong position to open the game here. They've dropped the big giant snake on the T2 bot. Oh no, he's making the big giant snake at the Windrunner miss most of the time. Just at the tower, my friend. Shaman is kind of stranded down here in No Man's Land. It's not as bad as it looks. This could be bait for a pretty legendary Omni Slash, though they find, okay, they find the Jug there, but just a little too late do the supports realize that on the Radiant, and he's able to get off a pretty good Omni Slash, shake these guys out.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I just heard the Windows 8 startup noise there. El Mapache going down again. The Farmacist has got Mike. Mango's going to get a Diffie, which is actually pretty good here. All these cores on the die are going to be very focused on mana. In particular, if you're able to knock out Drug's mana pool at a very inopportune time, it is very bad for him. So that is definitely more of a power spike than it looks like. The XP deficit is pretty large. Gold deficit is not that big. They're doing a good job staying in the game here. Double kill for Pangolier is going to put him above Jug, for example, on the net worth chart. Amigo.
Dire's middle tower is
What
under
are you guys
attack.
gonna need, a Quelling Blade or something? Okay, yeah, Jakiro is going to bite the bullet and do the job. I guess Clock doesn't necessarily need it. Jack definitely needs something to do there.
Dire's middle
But I think
tower
really,
is under attack.
I think the better thing to get might be Force rather than the Quelling, but it's not like it's a big deal.
Dire
Poor
is
Windrunner
scanning.
is gonna get caught again.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Very good news for Roar, really. It was a rough game for Tidehunter, and he didn't have a very good start. You know, the other two members of his team are balling, he's kind of down there, but the lucky thing for him is that this is a totally fine game. At least thus far, it looks like it. A totally fine game to just be a Ravage robot. That's all you do. Like, really, to this point, okay, interesting time to swap there. Is not going to save the VS, but this could be a good kill on the Furion here. That would be certainly a big deal. Yep, they are going to end the godlike streak. Unfortunately, Clockwork of all people is going to take the money, but whatever, the streak is over, and that's what counts. Oh no, oh my god. Bread and butter, buy a lottery ticket as you just dodged an Omni Slash with your ult. That was insanely lucky. If that didn't happen, this dude was dead as a doornail.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Just had that old Omni luck. That's gonna happen sometimes. Roar is now in really deep. You're just surrounded by 5. Gonna go down quickly. Coplice team definitely still alive here. Again, as bad as it looks, it is not actually
Dire are scanning.
too far gone,
Radiant's
money
middle
or
tower is
XP
under
wise. And yeah, you can see here 2K, 2.5 grand
Dire's
changes
top
hands.
tower is under
About
attack.
3,000 just shy of it. XP changes.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
In a way, very unlucky. If that Omni Slash had just stuck on the Pangolier instead of just immediately bouncing into a creep wave, that having to amble up there, that team fight definitely looks very different. Like that was definitely going to be more than enough to deal with poor Pango, but fortune favors the Pango that crashes into the creep wave, as they say. And Jakiro is just going to get assassinated there. The Furion is going to fall right on his head. I feel like it's kind of rare to see a Tidehunter in 2025 that is not thinking about Shard as early as possible, which it's too early, don't get me wrong, but
Tell me someone saw that.
it is interesting to see that, that's for sure. Jug's going to pick up a Battle Fury here. He has no TP. Very sad for him. Pango following up Diffie and Blink with the Aghanim Scepter here, which is really annoying to deal with, I can tell you that.
Radiant are scanning.
The Ags on the VS is nearly done, and that is going to be maybe the single largest power spike these guys are going to get this game, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Furion is finishing up a
Radiant
Mjolnir
are
here.
scanning.
Is very quickly going around the armor that these characters are going to have, which is definitely a smart move, in addition to being what you would do anyway, but you know how it goes. Let's just pretend that it was some brilliant master stroke rather than the build. 3-man smoke here. They're definitely looking at the Pangolier,
Dire's
but this is
middle
a
tower
really
is
hard
under
kill for these
attack.
guys to get. You're going to need to be very good about it. Has to be timed as well. That's a good start. Immediately bringing out the all the big guns.
Dire's middle tower.
The VS is going to be at the right place at the right time and just shred this movement, though. Good cut in. I don't think the Dire had a very good idea of where the Radiant were on that play. They thought they were getting a freebie. Okay, that's a big pick. They've just found the Furion here. He's looking dead, but that's a big Omni on Roche. Wow! Again, that was definitely Clockwork intentionally doing that. It wasn't like some kind of crazy, ungodly accident, but the Omni gets completely wasted. The Juggernaut's going to go down. DJ Bread and Butter is going to follow, but he's going to get killed by the Roche. Overall, it's a 4 for 4, but it's not quite that bad because one of those 4 was a VS who doesn't care anymore or Ghost survived, and one of those 4 died to Roche. So the Dire didn't get anything for it. As a result, 1,200 gold changes hands, about 2,000 XP. And everybody is probably really mad. If that Pango actually died proper, if he didn't die of Roche, that would have been stalemate. But instead, it's a win for the Radiant. Pipe of Insight is going to be out very soon on the Tidehunter here. The Windrunner is using Maelstrom. It's going to put a big dent in her ability to actually do damage here. Windrunner is going to... Windrunner is actually going to pull out of this attack thinking there's more people down here, but it's not actually true. It's just Furion alone. But she didn't really know that. Manta Style up next for the VS. It's still a ways away.
Bounty.
I'm going to see a Yules on the Jakiro, which I think is pretty good here. Let me clog, nothing too crazy. Ags, like I said, coming out on the Pangolier. He's about halfway done with it at this point. Looking for Revenant's Brooch, interestingly enough, on the Windrunner. Nothing too shock. Okay, the Eternal Shroud being queued up by the Shaman is a little shocking. I don't know if that's what I'd go for here. Pipe out for the Tidehunter is going to let him soak up the Windrunner Maelstrom. Is going to let him soak up some of the Jakiro and Pangolier damage. That's nice. Jug hasn't actually gotten a big item in quite a while, but he's got a Manta style queued up, and he's not that far from him. Dire just kind of casually walked into the Radiant jungle here. It's a little forward, a little bit of an aggressive. They're going to find the Shadow Shaman for it. Looks like that's all they're finding, though. Interesting play there. That felt like a very much, we're ahead, we've got to do something type play. Mjolnir up on the Furion, now going for the BKB. It's hard to imagine who would do it, but a Pipe on the Radiant would certainly not be a bad thing. It feels like these guys are going to be. Again, outside of the Jug specifically, very magic damage oriented on the Dire for quite a while.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Oh, they're looking at Furion. Oh, good use of the blink. Oh no, this could be bad. Farmacist, of course, deep in no man's land. He's gonna put himself in the trees. Jug's gonna come in with the most casual Omni Slash you've ever seen. He's going to mostly bounce to the VS. Oh! Oh no, Pangolier almost got away with it. But not quite. Interesting ult there from the Skyrath Mage. Might be 2 for 3. I don't think the Windrunner wants any of this. Yeah, 2 for 4 actually with the Ravage.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Okay, no, never mind. 3 for 4 because the VS Ghost is going to get the Shadow Shaman. 4 for 4 as the VS Ghost is going to get both supports and then get away. Oh no, baby, this isn't good. This is like crazy talk? We're just like sitting there taking it. He's not even attempting to fight back. Yeah, okay. 4 for 5. One of those 4 is the VS Ghost, who gets an ultra kill, so who cares? This isn't really going to show you the proper gold XP change. It's definitely going to favor the Radiant more once all is said and done. A crazy series of events there, favoring the Coplice lineup. Again, not a huge turnaround, not a huge, overwhelming victory. You know, you're not cheering for my heavens if that happened, but it could have been really nasty and turned into a win. So there was definitely that. Eggs nearly up now on the Pangolier. VS has perhaps completed, yep, with the proceeds from that last fight, has completed Manta Style. Kiro has completed Yules. Furion going the BKB, sensible. Jug nearly done with the Manta Style, just took a few hundred gold away.
Dire are scanning. Dire's top tower is under attack.
They're going to take Tormentor, though Radiant is actively walking there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
VS is in deep in the middle of all this nonsense here. That's a really good ult from the Jakiro, but they're being like griefed by the Tormentor healing. The VS is going to go down basically immediately. Rockford's going to follow. Gonna take out the Tidehunter before he bolts. There's that. VS Ghost is gone. It's 4 for 3. Doesn't quite make it. 5 for 3. Favoring the Dire. Almost gets the Furion, but they do not quite make it. 1,500, really about 2,000 gold changes hands towards the Dire. About 5,000 XP, which is a massive, especially considering they got the Tormentor, a massive swing. If that had started a few seconds earlier for the Radiant, then that would have been really awesome. But unfortunately for them, really, that fight got grieved hard by the Tormentor post-kill heal. Like, 2 guys on the Dire lived just because of that. So if they were able to get in there a little faster and get the job done before the Tormentor actually died, which was a hard ask, I don't think it was a necessarily viable fight there. And that would have been very, very, very good for them. Has to be using the living VS against the Skyratu just to be confusing. Got Rod of Atos out on the Skyrath Mage, looking for the double arcane. We're really looking for the double everything, has both the Aghanims items queued up. Furion has finished 1 bar, the Black King bar going swiftly for the Monkey King's bar. Manta is now out on the Chug. Tidehunter used the last fight to pick himself up a nice shard.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower.
At the very least, this is a very good pushing lineup, and they have
is under attack.
very quickly torn down the T2 at top for Dire.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures.
Once again, the giant snake drops on top of this tower. Once again, Radiant fortifies. Once again, somebody TB's in to try and fix it. And once again, the snake fires at that person rather than the tower. Fruitlessly, unfortunately.
Radiant are scanning.
I guess suppose, unfortunately, depending on your point of view. But unfortunately for Shadow Shaman in this specific case, VS looking at Hurricane Harbor Pike. Has a Dragonlance already. Windrunner is just like losing it a little bit here. This is kind of a crazy play. It's not going to backfire on her because the Dire is so astounded by what just happened. They're kind of just backing off and going, what do we do about this? Radiant invading this eastern part of the jungle. Looks like they want to try and go for the T2 here. They're certainly putting up all the vision they can on it. The invasion still continuing on the part of the Radiant. We're going to take this Watcher here without a response. Juggernaut is going to drop the Omni on Clockwork. Clockwork's just going to hookshot out, and that's going to ruin everything. Ravage here on 2 has 0 follow-up. All the other cores are just somewhere else. Very awkward fight. And Furion's going to feel the worst of this. Roar's going to go down. Jug, uh-oh. Real bad news if the Jug just casually goes down here, and he does. Gets knocked out by the Pangolier. I think the Radiant kind of confused the Dire so much in the way they were playing there. They just kind of won the fight. The Dire played that out very disjointed, like they didn't really know how to take that one in particular, and it turned out exactly as you'd expect. The cores were all out of sync with each other, having very different ideas on how to take that particular fight, and it felt like the Coplice team knew exactly what they wanted to do there. It looked like a little bit of madness from the Radiant, and it could have backfired, but they pressed their advantage and did not. Took the fight, swung a lot of money, a lot of XP. And they took the 2 Wisdoms as well. Daedalus up on the Windrunner now. In particular, the Juggernaut doing the ult, just going to the Clockwork, and the Clockwork just breaking out of it was rough, baby. That did not feel good for them. Feels like fortune has not been favoring Jekka. 2 or 3 times now we've just seen, like, Omni Slash just goes wrong. BS is going for the supports under T2 here. The Shaman, barely hanging on here as the Skyrath Mage is getting blocked behind. We have BKB out on Farmacist. It's the Ghost. This is a pretty good looking Omni Slash at the very least. Not able to get the Pangolier. Lots of buybacks coming out from the Dire here. Oh man, the Skyrath Mage just completely diebacked. So overall, even though it looks a little different, 5 for 3, 2 buybacks, 1 team apiece. Because of that, the gold swing is probably about, well, I guess we can roughly estimate that. Buyback 838, buyback. Yeah, it's basically neutralized at about a 2K gold swing. 2.5 grand towards a Radiant.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Really nasty to just have that instant dieback on the Skyrath Mage, but at the very least, he's low enough level right now that the cost of it was pretty much nothing, and the time he's going to spend down is not really terribly long. He wasn't going to be doing anything that crazy in the Dining Lust anyway. MKB now up on the Furion as Radiant just creams Roshan, puts the Aegis right on the Windrunner, who just scurries off. Man, that Chug Omni that did nothing was very scary. Like he was really only on 2 guys there that were right next to each other. One of those was Pangos. That should have nominally been really good for him, but he's definitely starting to feel like he's fallen off. But really maybe that he dashed right into first, second gear. Has had an amazing time getting here, but has been stuck since. Oh, they got fooled there. They got fooled by the illusions. Raising at the wrong guys, though. Furion is going to win the Lucky Guy Award and get caught by the Basher stun from Pangolier. Get killed. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, baby! Again, the Omni Flesh just does nothing. This is a great Ravage move. Oh, man. Just not enough. Just not enough anymore. Tide's gonna lose all of his mana basically instantly. They didn't even lose Aegis. 5-0.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Uh-oh. This is getting real bad real fast.
Dire structures are fortified.
They really did just hit a very big power spike with the Radiant Cores. Win a big fight off of it, and then just immediately carry that momentum to a big victory.
Dire's top barracks are
Like,
under attack. Dire's top barracks is falling.
just that one fight around the Dire Wisdom Shrine, basically. That one fight where it was like, what is the Radiant doing? And just suddenly, now they're just unstoppable. What looked like a kind of a crazy bluff, it just turned into a complete rout. Juggernaut never really able to come online. Nature's Prophet had this conservative build. They might be able to repel from base at least. Though the Shaman's not going to live to see the day. Oh man. Gonna take the Aegis off the Windrunner, but here comes, oh man, look at this. Look at this Pango in the middle of the Vampire. Oh no. The Furion and the Juggernaut will get shredded. Tidehunter falls into the grave. The Furion buys him back. Dies just as quick. Good night, everybody. It's all over.
Dire's bottom barracks is Dire's
Jekka
bottom
calls the GG's. We're going home.
Radiant victory.
This match was just won all of a sudden. That's the best way I could put it. The momentum, which is kind of heavily favoring Dire, a few things are going bad for them on the luck side of the equation. But just Radiant gets this big power spike and just overwhelms, just hits Dire on the head with it so hard they just lose 4 consecutive team fights and it's over. Like, let's look at this. I don't usually do this when I'm not live, but like when I'm not live exclusive. But like, look at this graph. Look at this go. Look at the scale of this graph, right? Like, you know, at just prior to 30 minutes. Let's just say at 27 minutes, Radiant is at a 6K deficit, right? 27. Let's just say 27 00. They're at a 7K. Let's just say 6.5K deficit. 5K XP deficit. And then at 32 minutes, the gold has swung the other way and the XP has swung by nearly 20 grand. It is like, yeah, they just completely pummeled him. You can tell exactly where that fight I was talking about happened. Just completely pummeled them with a big power spike, and they just never came back from that. Very good tactical play by the Coplice team. Bad luck in a lot of ways on the Thuggoceuticals. Did not see the items coming. Just had a lot of bad luck on the part of the Juggernaut there. A lot of the Omni Slashers just kept going the wrong way. But big tactical play on the Coplice lineup. Gives them another victory here. Let's see what happens next time.